as Terrell as a little kid, what would you have been like? Would this have been cool for you to see Michael there and get to shop with them? I mean, can you put yourself in their shoes?
It's hard for me to put myself in their shoes because again, these kids were 11, 12 years old. At that age, again, what I remember, 10, 11, 12 years old. That's when I found out who my dad was, and so understanding, the opportunity that these kids are getting here today to obviously to have the opportunity to meet someone like myself. I feel like to whom much is given, much is required, and I have a responsibility not only to just be an athlete, but to be a voice, to be of inspiration, be of motivation for those kids. And so some of these kids, again, I'm sure come from single parent households. I share some of those similarities, those commonalities, because that's how I was raised. I was raised by my grandmother and my mom. Didn't have a dad or father figure for that matter. So to be able to be here and be of some inspiration, knowing that these kids look up to me, not only myself, but you think about a lot of the great athletes in every sport. You think about the Steph Currys, the Michael Jordans, the LeBrons, the KDs, myself, the Randy Mosses. I never thought in a million years that I would be one of those guys that kids look up to, and so or idolize. And so for me to be in this position today, I'm very honored. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And it's all about giving back. And so I've done a lot of things throughout the course of my career. Sometimes it's not publicized, but it's not. Sometimes I do a lot of things that's not newsworthy, for that matter. And I don't do things for the sake of publicity. I do it from the bottom of my heart. And so even with being here today, I understand the impact that I've only made throughout the course of my career. Not only in my own hometown, but here in the city of Chattanooga. So I'm very grateful of those opportunities and very blessed to be here and be of inspiration to these kids.
Terrell, what about this Hall of Fame class? Can you talk a little bit about it? I know you gave him some shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the class that you're a part of. You just mentioned Randy Moss.
Yeah, man. You think about the class and the guys that are being inducted, into the Hall of Fame. You think about Bobby Beathard, Robert Brazile, Brian Urlacher, Brian Dawkins, Ray Lewis, and Randy Moss. This is a pretty stellar class. You think about a few of those guys that I mentioned. Randy Moss, Brian Urlacher, Brian Dawkins. These are guys that I played with and I played against. So I have the utmost respect for those guys and really kind of their path and journey to success and to what has led them to be inducted on a historic day, which will be tomorrow. So we've all had our struggles, our paths, and different areas and levels of success. And so this is the highest honor I think any athlete can receive. And so for me to be standing here today and to think when I came here in Chattanooga in '92 to say that I would have been inducted to the Hall of Fame, it would be impossible for me to fathom that. So to be standing here today is honestly it's a truly blessing from God. I'm very grateful, and I'm glad I'm able to share it here in Chattanooga, which is where it all began. It's exciting. I think a lot of kids, in this area, especially this age group, obviously they didn't watch me play, but they've heard of me. This is where it all began for me. Went to school in Alexander City, Alabama. Bentonville High School. UT Chattanooga afforded me the opportunity to come here and number one, further my education, and gave me an opportunity to play sports. And so, like I said, I don't know where I would be today if it wasn't for those opportunities. And so for me to be here and to have accomplished what I've accomplished and come back and give back to the community, especially surrounding, the honor of being inducted to the Hall of Fame. Number one, it means a lot, not only to myself, but obviously to this community.
A lot of people have said, online and on social media, why he didn't go take the award in Canton. So what do you have to say to those people who have all this flack to say about you? You make this decision on your own.
Again, like I said, I understand, why I've made my decision. I don't expect everyone to agree with me. But again, obviously the criteria and the system put in place for the Hall of Fame in order for guys like myself to be inducted. There are guidelines that the writers, the sports writers, are supposed to adhere to. This is not being inducted the first or second round, second ballot, but it's about the process in which guys are nominated and ultimately inducted. And so there is a flaw in that system. So this is not only about me, but it's about the guys that went before me, that's going to come after me, and I can make a stand for those guys so they won't have to go through this situation. So for me, I'm proud of what I've been able to accomplish. I don't expect a lot of people to agree with what I've done. I know what I'm doing. I know who's more important than, for me, it wasn't about the Hall of Fame. I never played the sport to be in the Hall of Fame. Everything that I've accomplished was a lot of hard work. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And when I feel like there are certain people put in position to not really adhere and honor and respect, what I've done for the game, and that's an issue. So for me, like I said, my family's happy, the community is happy, and I can't be more grateful for the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, for affording me the opportunity to receive one of the greatest honors right here where it all began.